Hey guys, this is a quick walkthrough video of my first HMO purchase. This has been a long time coming for me. The aim of this YouTube channel is literally to document the process, the highs, the lows, the good, the bad, the ugly. So today I'm going to give you a first walkthrough. We haven't got the keys yet, so we're still going through conveyancing at the moment, but I've been able to get access just to complete some final checks before we get some builders in for pricing. So what I'm doing today is literally giving you guys a quick sneak peek, talk through very briefly what we're doing. I haven't got an architect in yet, so again, future video I'll be talking through plans and proposals, but let's get into the first bedroom. Pretty similar arrangement to what you'll see, but just to start off with what we're going to do. So we have this lovely arch here. What we're going to do is literally block up this wall, so this will be a complete wall here. We'll then create a new opening on the right hand side wall here just to let people into the room. My thinking, and this is not probably going to be the last part, is my thinking is in this corner we will then have an ensuite kind of in this space, either a long vertical kind of square, and then we'll have like a wardrobe tucked away in the background, so the door opens up to the back of the wardrobe. The entrance to the ensuite will probably be in this way, a sink straight ahead, a toilet, and then the shower, but TBC. Also probably thinking we'll have a bed on this back wall here, so some will have their head laid here, feet kind of this way, and then the door will be into this way. Get out of bed, straight into the ensuite. Lovely bay window here. Initially we can already see there's some damp low level. When I first did the viewing, I noticed that the pointing, which is just the mortar between the bricks, is quite damaged outside, hence why when it rains it's falling down on the brickwork and very damp. So you can see hopefully in the video the change in color for the lighter gray to the damper patch literally around here. So the entire part here will need to take all the wallpaper off, and then obviously go back to brick and provide a damp proof course. Carpets will all come off, all wallpapers will come off, all the lights, everything, furniture will be stripped out of here. So that's the plans for the first bedroom. Let's go straight into the open plan kitchen diner. So again, in here, what we'll do is this lovely, great chimney that's taking up so much space will be coming out. Again, just my initial thoughts is to have a row of kitchen worktops on the back here, probably a new door going out into the garden, and then this will operate as like the communal space. So ultimately the open plan kitchen diner. Big thing about HMOs and what I'm trying to do is the co-living model. So ensuring that people who live together operate as some sort of community. So putting together 5 or 6 like-minded people so that this will be their core operating space. They have breakfast together. Who knows, they may even cook together. So that's the plan, that's what we're hoping for. So as a design, we need to make sure we're putting in facilities that would encourage that. So there's enough hob space, there's enough ovens, etc. for people to be able to do what they need to together. Another big thing that I like to do is have zones in kitchens. So when I say zones, I mean there'll be like a cooking zone, a laundry zone, a social zone, i.e. Working from a desk or watching a TV, and that just helps distribute the different areas for people to flow through. Big part of when you're viewing properties and obviously planning for the refurbishment works is looking at areas where, one, you can probably get your offer down or your asking price down. So a prime example was here. First off, when I came into the property, the smell of damp hit me in the nose, and I'm thinking, okay, where's water coming in? Because damp is literally just water coming in to areas where it shouldn't be. Looking at the wall down here, so I get quite low, I'm not sure with my shadow, but you can see this part of the wall is pretty dry, but literally from crossing this line, this is literally completely wet. So literally if I was to pull it away, you can see it is literally just pulling away. So it tells me that the brickwork outside is damaged, and when it rains, water is being poured down the elevation or the wall, and that water is seeping inside the property. Now, what they'll need to do is strip back this wallpaper, pack off the plaster, ensure that the wall is just damp-proof coursed from a low level as well as the wall, and then that should hopefully remove the problem. But it also will need to mean that the skirting boards are completely removed and anything that was been affected by the water is dried, and then new stuff is put in. But that's just something to always look out for when viewing houses. I'll now quickly take you through what is going to be bedroom number 2. So this is the largest room in the house. I'm joking. This is actually a very narrow room. The proposal for this is I'm thinking to have either a quadrant, which is like kind of a quarter of a circle, WC in the corner. Probably just going to be a shower, but hopefully we can get a toilet in there as well. This, because it's like a galley kitchen, which is like long and narrow, we'll hopefully take this back a bit just so we can have a bed in the back. And this one's literally going to be very basic. Head will probably here with a headboard. The bed will probably end about here. There'll probably be a desk low level here, wardrobe on that side. It's not the biggest of rooms, but with regards to the local authority and their minimum room sizes, it's actually above the minimum with still some spare space. So it does operate. It's obviously going to be the cheapest room in the house with regards to rent. But a good thing about HMOs is there's a budget for everyone, and it doesn't mean because it wouldn't be the most biggest room that someone won't take it. It probably is perfect for what they need it for. So that's just something to bear in mind. Although you want to have the biggest, most fancy rooms, sometimes you might have a room that's still a single bedroom or a small double, but still gives in rent, and that tenant might stay for a long time because it just works for them. So that's that. On here we can see there's damp, low level. Again, we'll just hack back all this plaster, be able to kind of understand what's happening and then make sure that doesn't come back. This room is quite cold. So a big part of what we'll need to do is some of the insulation as well. Just make sure the walls are lined so that when whoever's living and sleeping in here, they actually feel comfortable in here as well. Kitchen obviously will be coming out because the kitchen is going to be going next door in an open plan kitchen space. All the pipe work will also be coming out. This door we blocked up as well because what we'll do is, like we said, in the living room, we'll put that in there. So I think that's the plans for this. Obviously boiler will be coming out too. I will then quickly take you into the basement, which is dark and dingy and beautiful. And yeah, let's go into that now. Now we can see we're in the dingy, dungy basement. I've got no plans for this, and I think the best use of this space would just be to use it as a plant room. With these kind of HMOs, there'll be a big water tank just to ensure all 6 bedrooms, if they have their taps on at the same time, the water pressure is pretty much the same. All toilets are flushing, all showers are pretty decent. So although in space standards, it actually suits, you can see we don't have the floor to ceiling headroom in here. So that's that. I'm not sure why the ceiling is masked, but it's something that I'll have to get the surveyor to come in and look into. But yeah, not really much to say in here. It's damp, it smells, it's disgusting, but this is what we do in property. We transform spaces. So if, for example, this is somewhere that we could transfer into a room, this could do very well as like a home study. So imagine having a row of desks where all 6 tenants can come down here and not have to work from their rooms. Alternatively, it could be a perfect utility room. So washing machines, drying racks, all that kind of stuff could be here. If you want to push the boat out a bit, it can even be a cinema room. So everyone in the house comes down here, watches Netflix, bean bags, projector screen coming down. There's options, but for this project, I don't think we are going to go and push the boat out like that. It's likely just going to be a plant room, blocked off for the tenants to never be able to access. Only myself as the owner, alternatively, just the agent who's managing the property will be able to come down here just for health and safety reasons. Another thing I've noticed in the basement is we have this fabulous stone as the floor finish. So a lot of people may not know, but this stone actually has a very good second-hand value. So depending on what you was doing, you could get a builder to take these to a local reclamation yard or scrap yard or whatever, and they will probably give you some good money for this stone. You'll see it's also on the steps as we came in, and is completely covering this floor. So just something to think about. Sometimes when you buy in properties, although you're going to cover them or do other things to properties, there are actually assets or things you can sell on to get some money to help with the refurb. So that's just a random tip of what I'll share with you guys. Quickly coming outside to the back garden, which is the back of the house. So here we can see we've got a rear access to the property. Not sure what we'll do with this. I think it'll be good to have the option in the future to have cars drive into the space. However, we can also just brick up the wall and have a single gate entrance, but that's TBC. I'll have us look and feel, again, based on budget, depends on what we will do. In here, we'll see we've got a outside toilet. Not something that you see, and it's pretty common these days, is very dated. However, there is obviously services and something that we could be used. We have options. We can either just knock it down, we could use it, or we could repurpose it as storage for our cleaners or something, just being creative. But that's that. Just panning around to the actual building. So something that's very visible is the render is in very bad condition. So render is something that obviously protects the brickwork. It adds an extra layer of protection to your buildings. Sometimes insulation, depending on the specification of what the render is. But above all, it's mainly just aesthetic as well. So once it's brand new, it adds a bit of insulation and it keeps the building just in looking tip-top condition. So that's something we'll need to obviously do. Here we can see we've got a flat roof. It'll be for the builders to make sure they are looking at that and let me know whether there's anything that's needed to be done. The general feel for this garden will be obviously to completely de-weed this throughout to ensure that the tenants can have a space that they can just use as outdoor space. Probably have a barbecue here and stuff in the summer, and some outdoor seating for them to have friends and whatever's needed. Looking in the bay, because remember before we spoke about the damp in the property. So here we can see, obviously we've got the windowsill and water could be coming in from anywhere whatsoever. So we have the option of the joint between the bottom of the window into the sill. Alternatively, we could have literally a gap underneath here where water could be getting in, or it's literally just soaking this wall, which you can see is damp completely throughout. So water's getting in here somehow, and we need to rectify that situation. Again, guttering pretty much in a bad condition. Very likely we will either repaint it or replace it just to make sure the flows and runs are working correctly. This seems to be a bit of a warren, which I'm not too fond of. So again, with the builders, we'll look at what the options are just to get this all looking uniform. Again, the render you can see and the paintwork is pretty bad. So that's that. Outside, it's not going to be crazy money spent on this at all. It's just to get it looking decent, get rid of all the vegetation on the floors throughout, and just create a nice space for the tenants. Let's quickly head inside and show you upstairs. Just coming upstairs very quickly, we'll probably take you to the front of the property. So in here, you'll see this is a pretty big room. But the plan for this will be, again, an open plan ensuite bedroom. This will probably have some sort of ensuite arrangement on this side. Again, my ideas are just ideas at this stage, and it's something that the architects will basically advise me on based on their experience. So that's the plan from here. We can see there's some damp issues in this property, which tells me that somehow, somewhere externally, the rainwater goods are damaged or the brickwork is damaged. And you can see just in the bottom there, there's some damp, very low level. So again, the survey will tell me what is the issue there and what work needs to be done. Let's head on into bedroom number 4. So you can see here is a very weird arrangement on the floor. The bedroom entrance will need to be rejigged. This takes us into bedroom number 4. Again, very decent size. We have a chimney in the corner. Don't know if we'll need to remove it because we do actually have the size. And again, a good tip with HMOs is rather than eating up the space that's in the room, if you have a big room which is next door, sometimes you could just eat into that room. So for example, we can create an opening in this wall to eat into next door to create an ensuite, therefore not cutting down on size for this room. It really just allows you to be smart with how you use the floor plans and just the optimization of spaces. Lovely window here that lets natural light in. Again, this room will do what it needs to. It will have a bed, it will have a wardrobe, it will have the chest of drawers, and it will have an ensuite, just so whoever's in here is comfortable and they can look after themselves in one big room. Going through to the next space. This room is ultimately going to become room number 5. At the minute, it's pretty tight, similar to downstairs. But what the current proposal is to extend just on the first floor to match the footings on the ground floor kitchen currently. So what we'll do is we'll kind of knock this wall back, put a complete new roof on it, and literally match the foundations downstairs. This will then likely mirror the room next door, room downstairs, sorry, to be able to operate as a bedroom. Again, a pretty long and narrow one, but still works with the numbers and etc. So this will be bedroom number 5. And then just coming back to the hallway, again, this is very narrow. The proposal would be to, again, have a new staircase which allows us to start here, turn, and then go all the way up. I'm assuming because it's pretty narrow here, this wall might need to step in a bit into the room, but we'll see again when we meet up with the architect. Something that's also going to need to change is this height of this banister is too low. So you can imagine I'm just about 6 foot and a bit. So if I'm here kind of if I'm a student or a working professional coming after a drunk night, fall over, that's an issue. We can't have that. This, I believe, needs to be a minimum 900, but it's obviously too low, so this will need to be come out. We can see also here we have this lovely stair lift. It's also going to have to come out because these stairs are as narrow and high and steep as they are, so that will come out, and we'll just put that up for scrap as well. So downstairs we've got 2 bedrooms. Upstairs we'll hopefully have 3, and we're looking to either create another 1, potentially another 2 up in the loft. When I've got the floor plans from our architect, I'll do a separate video just talking over the plans, showing you how we've moved from one set of plans to the other. I think that'll be really good just to show you guys how things can start somewhere and then develop to something else. So yeah, that is the property. We're moving it from a 2-bed to hopefully a 5, maybe a 6 with a loft conversion. Stay tuned if you are interested in finding out what we do with this one, how this project develops. Like I said, the point of my channel is documenting the entire process, honestly, of a property refurbishment, day-to-day life kind of thing. So that's what you get on this channel. If you've got this far, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I've been Kelvin. I'll catch you in the next one.